Shri Matre Namaha. Welcome back to my vlog. I am happy to see all of you again here, and let me tell you that I've just been doing this for 2 days, and it's been quite motivating to see all your comments, and many of you share what I'm making and get your feedback as well. I'm very grateful for all your engagement and all your support and motivation in doing this. Thank you so much, all of you. Without you guys, I don't think I would be even doing this. So, as I told you in the first vlog itself, I'm not a very consistent person. So, this is an attempt from my end to be consistent in this one particular thing, and let me see if I can actually do this for, say, a few months at least, so that I can actually prove to myself that I am actually going to stick with something for that long. Except animal welfare, I think I haven't really stuck to anything for that long. So let's see how this goes. Hi! Come, 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 come. Hi! Hi, children. कौन बाकी है? So this is a smaller pack of dogs, and they are originally they were more vulnerable, or they had some serious issues when they came to us, and now they are much better, to be honest, but they are still not as healthy as the remaining ones are. Sometimes it is difficult to take a call on who is healthy enough and who is not healthy enough, and that definitely becomes a challenge, because together when they are a pack, they tend to attack other dogs as well who are more vulnerable than they are. So let me introduce you to them. This is Alex. Alex is a one-eyed pirate dog. He has conquered many a ship, many a seas through ship, and he remains brave, and as you can see, he is very much interested in marking his territory everywhere. Next you have Ghost, the other white dog. He is also one-eyed to a great extent. And then you have the two girls, Hermione without the collar and Ginny with smallest fellow, not youngest but smallest in size. He's a dwarfy dog. Menti, he's the black and white one. Menti. The other black and white one that you see is Shankar. He's a very brave dog, very good temperament, excellent temperament, no health issues, very, very good dog overall. And then of course we have Madam Lucy. Hi Lucy. There is Lucy. She is such a beautiful dog. Lucy has actually settled down in the grass. Huh, Lucy? What, you settled down there? Lucy, what are you doing? Molly, wait, Malu. Wait. We are opening the gate. Wait. Chal, Molly. Chalo, Molly. Chalo, let's go. Molly, come. Molly. हाँ ठीक है, जाके आ, घूम के आ. Come. Go that side. हाँ चलो.
उधर गेट बंद है.
उधर. Oh my God, उधर गेट खुला है. Oh God. So I did a very silly thing. I actually did not notice that this particular gate of this plot was open, and I actually just got all the dogs this side without thinking, and then we had to run a bit helter-skelter here and there and all, and we realized, okay, everyone managed to get everything under control, so now all of them are fine. But it was a bit of a scare, because if the dogs do run outside, we are going to have a major issue. So because not everyone has a strong recall, so one of the first things that we try to get dogs to learn is recall, because they need to know when they are called, because that is the one thing that will get them to come back to us. So we try. But now, for example, with a dog like Doki, so Doki is absolutely scared. He doesn't allow us to touch him. Doki is the black and white dog, so he doesn't allow me to touch him or anyone. So it's extremely difficult. But one thing which I have noticed with a lot of dogs is pack behavior. So this is one pack which is now left free. So when one dog comes in or two dogs come in together, they tend to follow. So we can always rely on them hopefully protecting each other. So this is a pleasant evening and a good walk. I've shown you two packs of dogs today. She is my convoy. This is my convoy actually. Making sure that there is no danger anywhere before I step in. It's an all-girl convoy temporarily. So let me talk to you a little bit about pack behavior. So pack behavior is something that dogs have inherently built in themselves. It is because they are descendants of wolves and wild animals who have originally lived in packs. There is one more of our pack which has come. So we as shelter people who take care of so many dogs, actually we tend to rely heavily on pack behavior, because pack behavior is how we manage to keep so many dogs in one place, firstly. Secondly, we also hope that unfriendly and dogs who are absolutely not, we can't touch them, dogs like that, they actually obey and do what is required, including I'm being assaulted right now by the young boys of Harry Potter. No. So with pack behavior, one thing you can count on is hierarchy. There will always be an alpha, and then there will be a beta, a gamma, a delta, and so on in the pack. And then there will be the weakest link also, who will often get attacked by the entire pack. So when you look at pack dynamics, one of the things that you can look at while and understand it properly to see who is the alpha, etc. If you are looking at a pack, you can check out who is the first one to eat. Like if you are serving meals and all the other dogs are backing off, the alpha will go and eat the meals first, and then the rest of them will follow. In fact, the lowest ranking in the pack will actually get the remains. So while we as human beings are natural behavior to be more compassionate to the weakest link, in nature what I have always observed is that the weakest link is always destroyed, and nature herself destroys that weakest link. So be it in a pack of dogs, be it the weakest crow which falls off, or the weakest bird which falls off the nest, or anything which is weak, if you are not strong enough to survive nature, you are pretty much finished. So but in dog packs that does not happen, but they get the weakest link gets the end, like the last bit of food which is there, or something which is remains. So that is something that you can look for in a pack. Next, many a times the animals do follow the alpha. Like if the alpha goes in somewhere, the remaining pack will also follow. Sometimes if the alpha is not fully stable, like in many cases, especially with shelter environments, the animals are highly needy for affection. So what happens in such situations is that even the alpha is very needy for affection, despite all the things which happen with respect to being an alpha. They get all the power and they are supremely strong and all of that. But still, when there is a human being involved, say for example I am involved in a situation where there are 6 dogs out and one is the alpha. If the alpha feels threatened when I am petting another dog, there is a chance that alpha may also become a little unstable. At that time we may have to predict that this and this might be a possibility, and we need to stop that alpha from taking it out onto the other members who are lower down in the pack. Then there are some dogs who are extremely stable. Now I'll name two of those dogs who I have in my packs. One is Shankar. I already told you he's the black and white dog, and then there's another one who is Thomas, who is a black, brown and white dog. So these two dogs are extremely stable dogs, and they adjust in any pack. They are very chill. So often, you know, I wonder how they are that way. It is their temperament. Though I wouldn't call them the alphas of their respective packs, while they do have a lot of leadership kind of qualities. At the same time, I do think that Rani is the alpha of the other pack, but she completely destabilizes when there is I am in the picture. So she becomes very upset, and she starts to be needy for affection. But otherwise, she's quite an alpha. She's quite good. But I still think maybe Thomas is the alpha. Maybe I also, I'm not sure. Need to observe them more. In Shankar's pack also, I'm not really sure if Shankar is the alpha, though he's very non-confrontational, and he also knows how to stand his ground. And there is another dog called Ghost also in that pack, who's also very similar. He has a similar behavior. But then we have Lucy, oh my god, who is the drama queen. So Lucy's pack, we actually call them Rani's pack and Lucy's pack, but these two girls are simply not showing the leadership skills that are required of pack leaders at this time. So that's it for pack dynamics for now. Let me think if there is anything else I can add to this. So I have another pack of 4 dogs who are very, very timid. And out of that, there is one dog who absolutely does not let us touch him. Or he is also aggressive towards humans. But one thing we can rely on is that he follows the rest of the pack. So even during travel from Thane to this place, or taking him to the vet for neutering, so he's neutered, vaccinated, all of that. So we heavily rely on the pack to lead him to safety, to make sure that he is gets all the necessary treatments and everything. So if it's raining, for example, and if we ask him to get into the kennel, he's simply not going to get into the kennel. So we definitely require the angel and the rest of the pack to actually get in before we can get Ganesh to get into the pack, into the kennel. I would just like to show you this wonderful sky which is there over here. So one thing I have noticed about this place where I live is the sky. It's so beautiful. It keeps changing color, keeps changing texture, and it looks so magical every single day. And on most days when there's no rain, there is clear skies are there, you can actually see planets, and you can see stars, because there is literally no light pollution. So now is not the season, obviously, because it's very cloudy, but I will make a vlog on this once the skies clear out. So there are days when I have actually just been lying there and looking at the sky, and I have even seen shooting stars. So it's absolutely magical. Thank you all for watching my blog today, and I hope it was a little helpful in understanding the basics, absolute basics of pack behavior. I do not claim to be a behaviorist, but with my 15 odd years of experience with the NGO dogs, as well as having had animals since childhood, and also having certifications in animal behavior from the University of Edinburgh, I think that it qualifies me to give at least that much amount of advice to you. So if you have any comments about it, or if you have anything to say at all, please feel free to comment below, and I look forward to seeing you all again. So Shri Matre Namaha. Thank you for watching.